Lupinhot mo among pasya, ibarinda manina.
So hello, welcome to our channel, and today is we're going
We have
to
a channel?
yeah, wait. We're gonna talk about how we met, and that I have a list of questions here that some friends are asking, why are we not posting a more detailed of our relationship, how we met especially. So today I decided to have this question and answer with Ron. Say,
Who am I?
who are you?
No, who am I?
So that's Ron. So
Hi.
before we met, who are you with, or were you dating?
I was dating. Didn't really have any steady for probably about 7-8 months before I met you. Prior to that, I was dating a girl named Kim for almost a year.
Oh, so it was Kim
Yeah.
before me.
Yep.
So this question for me is, I just broke up with my American boyfriend, just 3 months. Of course, I decided that it's getting late.
Right.
Better start
What do you mean in years? You
in
mean?
years. Yes, my years.
See, I was already old. So.
I was like, I want a family, and I better go look for something somewhere else, or something, start dating again, because it didn't work. So it's like, what's the point?
Yeah, see, women have a different view on
Yes.
dating than guys do, because we're looking to see what options are out there more than anything else. While I was dating, I just wanted to meet somebody who was,
Just want to enjoy.
well, that had their stuff together, right? You know, it wasn't someone who was needy and
Clingy.
well, clingy is okay to a degree, I guess.
Uh-huh.
But kind of knew who they were and didn't want me to fix their life for them, right?
Oh, that makes sense.
Because a
Because
lot of women that I
a lot of baggage.
had met, and while I was dating, they wanted me to fix all the problems. Well,
Doesn't work that way.
No, you need to kind of have some of your problems figured out before you meet or go out dating, right?
Yeah. So next is, how long you are on Plenty of Fish before meeting me?
Well, I met Kim on it,
Oh, you
And then
met him.
and then I obviously while I was dating her, I wasn't on it at all. I was only on it for about a month before I met her.
Okay.
And then obviously the 7 months before I met you.
Oh,
And I was only
see.
periodically on it because my job, I was gone for 15 days at a time, only home for 6.
There's no commitment.
So, well, it wasn't so much commitment, it was just, it's hard to build any kind of relationship other than superficial dating, right?
Yeah. Well, as for me, I'm kind of lucky because only 3 months that I am on Plenty of Fish, and I saw your picture keeps on coming over and over to my profile, so I send you that little wink. That little wink. I'm the one who first to send a message to Ron.
Well, there was a reason for that, though.
Why?
Because you had no photos on your profile,
Yeah.
and your profile never came up on mine at all.
Oh, really? For
It
me, it's
wasn't
over and
until you
over.
sent a wink, and then it was like, okay.
And I always remove
And I
my
read
pictures.
you only had like a little sentence on there. There wasn't a lot. It basically said that you were, your name was Nadia.
Nadia.
Is what you had put on there.
Yeah, that's my profile name.
And that you were looking for friendship and a relationship to build.
Yes.
And your sentence on there was you just wanted to meet someone who was nice.
Yes.
You know,
Of course, I'm straightforward because it's what I want.
But it didn't say anything about
I
who
didn't
you were or
do,
what
yeah,
you
I
were or
didn't
anything like that, right?
I just tell exactly what I'm looking, that I'm a serious person looking for someone who is serious, not just fucking around or whatever. So,
You're allowed to say that.
yeah.
And anyway, you winked, and I read your profile, and there was nothing objectionable on it where I went, yeah, go away. So what did I do? Do you remember?
You sent me roses.
I sent you a bouquet.
Bouquet of roses, yes. I thought it's bouquet of flowers, but you said bouquet of roses.
Red roses.
As long as it's a bouquet. And I was like, oh, yahoo! I know what's the kind of thing that, as if in my own impression with your profile, is like you're fed up with all the BS or baggages of women. And I'm like, I can understand that.
Well, I use the actual term of getting their shit together.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I kind of had figured out, like after my divorce, I had went through almost a year of rediscovering who I was, what my passions were, what I wanted in life.
Mm-hmm.
And my life was kind of on the straight and narrow. There wasn't a lot of ambiguity about it.
Yeah.
And it seemed like a lot of the women that I'd met through the dating and that honestly didn't know what they wanted. Honestly, even Kim, she had no idea what she wanted. She
Yeah.
wanted me to be the combination of her, and I should have probably started running, her 3 previous husbands.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's
She
that's
wanted me
gonna-
to be the combination of all 3 of them. Well, no, I'm me. You know what I mean? So, you know, and like your profile was very simple and no,
I know
there wasn't a lot of information or anything
not
there,
so much
but
there.
I
Yes,
thought, well, okay, well, let's see what happens.
So when you first saw my photo, what was your first impression?
I didn't see your photo for almost 3 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was one where you're standing in front of it looked like a tour bus,
Oh, yes, in Vancouver.
and you were in a kind of a turquoise summer style windbreaker jacket
Mm-hmm.
with your hair tied back, and you seemed pretty in the picture, and I was like, okay, well, this is different. And the other aspect on it is I'd never dated an Asian before,
So I'm the first.
so I was like, okay, because the ones that I'd tried to date before, they weren't interested.
Oh, I see.
Well, there is the white boy side of things, right? You know, that a lot of
yeah,
Asians
yeah.
don't like. So
Yes.
what do you do?
Yeah.
I thought, okay. I didn't know you were Filipino. I didn't know you were. All I knew is you were Asian, because
Yes.
I still don't recognize the faces the way you do.
Yeah.
To what region? And you only kept the photo up there for about a week, and then you took it off.
Yes, because I've been thinking that I don't want to kind of like let my pictures stay here or for whatever reason or something like that. I don't want to.
And the funny
keep
thing
it
is
there.
a week and a half later, you put up another one,
And
and you were in a yard,
yes,
and I
with
couldn't
Anna.
really see you because you were this
Tiny.
little person in the
And
picture.
it's intentional. For me, my first impression when I first saw your picture, because it's always there, and he's always smiling, and the age is so far is the kind of almost reached the maximum level of what I'm looking.
So you're saying I was an old guy? Thanks.
Yeah, from what I was looking, I was 35 at that time, so I want at least 10 years gap is my maximum that I'm looking.
So I really pushed the envelope, is what you're saying?
Something
Because there's
like
9
that.
years difference between us.
Yeah, it's nine years difference. So
Yeah.
yeah, at least it's not yet in the maximum. So that was my first impression, and yeah, I it's always stuck in my head that you have the dimple.
Yeah, the craters on the
yeah,
side.
yeah,
Yes.
the dimple is very cute until now. Yes, it's very nice. And I remember I have also my dimple, so it's like, oh, we both have dimples.
Hmm.
Nice.
You did mention that too, actually.
Yeah.
So,
So how long before you met in person?
3 months.
Yes, 3 months.
almost to the day, actually.
Yes, exactly.
And the funny thing was, is you would send like a 1-sentence response to a series of questions that I'd have. I'd write like a page and a half, 2 pages worth of
Yes.
stuff.
Yes.
And you'd send 2 sentences back, and it was like, ugh. And we were about 2 and a bit months into talking, like regularly texting or whatever they call it,
Yeah.
where you're sending messages back and forth. And we were sending a lot of messages.
Yeah, we both so kinda. Oh yeah, oh my God! I miss that every now and then I get a message, and it's so good to kinda get to know you more, and I'm becoming more excited every on
There was
a
guaranteed a
daily
message
basis.
every day, and in
Yes.
some cases 2 or 3 a day.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until about, I'd say, well, it was over 2 months. We were about 2 months and probably into the second week of the third month, where, like towards the third month, where it was like, okay, are we ever gonna meet, or what's the deal here? Like,
Yeah, because I want to get to know you more before I meet you in person, because who knows that it's fake or something like that. So of course, for me on my part as a woman, and I want to guarantee for my safety is I want to get to know you more.
Yeah, I look
And-
like that Mad Dog Killer, like, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I believe I asked you, like, well, so where's this gonna go? Like, do you want to meet, or what would you like to do?
Yeah.
And
I understand. It's like you give me the ultimatum to my understanding.
well, it wasn't so much an ultimatum. It was I wanted to know. Well, okay, if we're just going to be friends, we're just going to be friends. If we're going to see where this could go, then let's see where it can go.
Yeah.
And I said, like, because the first response after I asked that was, well, sure, I'd like to meet. And I said, well, I understand security and safety is an important thing. So what kind of public place would you like to meet?
Yes. I met
And
downtown Edmonton
at the Second Cup,
at Second Cup.
in what
at
used to be the Eaton
city-
Center.
City
'Cause
Center Mall.
the city center is across the street.
Yeah.
We were in what was called the Eaton Center still at that point.
Oh, okay.
And it was down on the main floor. And I knew I had to go work before we were up at Fort McMurray. So
So
it
we
was,
did not see on the following day. I waited you for 2 weeks, 1 week,
well, I was up there for a full 15 days.
15 days.
And that's
2 weeks.
why, like, strangely enough, my first complete day off, was our 3-month messaging
Oh, I
anniversary.
see. Yeah, okay.
And I said, well, I can meet you downtown. Where is most convenient for you? And you knew, and you obviously knew that the buses
Yeah,
went downtown.
yeah.
And you suggested the Second Cup. And I was like, okay. And I looked it up on the map the night before. Where is the Second Cup? And I went, well, shit, I used to work in the TD Tower right across the street anyway.
Yes.
So I thought I knew the area perfectly.
Yeah, it changed.
And we met at the shop. The Second Cup closed at 5,
Yeah.
and we met at 3.
Yes.
Well, we were supposed to meet there for 3. And I parked in the Staples down by the Canada Trust, which was like 2 blocks to the north.
Yeah.
And I came into Eaton Center, and I was there early, like 45 minutes early. I wanted to make sure everything
Make sure
was,
you're not going to be late, but
I
you
wanted
were
to make
late.
sure everything was perfect.
But you were
And
late.
then I started looking around. I'm going, well,
Where is
hold
it?
it? Where the hell? I could I found the Tim Hortons. I found both of them. I went down to the food court. Where the hell is the freaking Second Cup? I must have put on about 3 miles,
Okay.
going back and forth through the Ped Mall and down through the basement. And you phoned.
Yeah, I phoned you. Yes.
And I
Where are
apologized
you?
profusely, and I said, "Oh, I can't seem to find the
Oh.
Second Cup. I've been all around this place, and I can't seem to find it." And then you said, well, it's over by the ATB.
Mm.
Oops. And you said it was right across from the ATB, and I knew exactly where the ATB was.
Mm-hmm.
And I was upstairs down by the movie theaters on the Eaton Center side.
Mm-hmm.
And I was sweating, and because I was like moving as fast as I could, and I got down to the ground floor and I was flying, basically, like walking as fast as I could.
You were sweating when you came.
And I blew past Nita. She was sitting on the bench right beside the escalators.
And
this is the second cup. Now where the hell is she?
I
Because I couldn't see you.
I hide.
And I turned, and
I hide.
she kind of looked at me, and I recognized her looking at me, and I recognized her from the picture, and ding, there it was.
So the next question is, did you kiss the first meeting?
No.
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 No, we did an awful lot of talking on our first
We did
meeting.
a lot of talking, yes.
You got a raspberry tea,
Yeah.
and I got a dark Ceylon leaf tea.
Mm-hmm.
And we sat in the second table back from the edge of the store.
Yeah.
On the left-hand side.
Mm-hmm.
There was 2 tables behind us.
Mm-hmm.
There was another couple that was on their first date in the row beside us, and 2 seats back.
Mm-hmm.
And we started talking.
Yes.
And or should I rephrase it? You asked questions,
And you
and I started talking.
Yes.
And
So the next question is, what is your first impression on first meeting in person? Personal. What is your impression now that we met in person?
well, I thought, wow, pretty cute, and but still very, very quiet. Your voice sounded different on the phone than what it did in real life.
Mm-hmm.
The only regret I have is you didn't talk a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
I did about 85% of the talking.
So do you think you like me?
Oh yeah, I was like, ooh, she's cute.
Yes. For me, it's yes. I like you as well. In my head, as long as he is the person in the picture he said he is, then I don't see any problem.
So I didn't look like an ogre.
And you came out, oh, he's the one.
I think the other thing that was in the back of my head was like, holy crap, is she tiny? You know, 'cause
Yeah, yes.
you
I
were,
was only 100 pounds at the time.
you were very tiny.
Very tiny, size
'Cause
1.
Most of the women I'd been around were considerably like taller and just body structure wise a lot bigger. And so there was like that, wow, she's tiny, but wow, she's cute, you know, and that kind of was always there. I like the sound of your voice. I found your accent kind of cute as well.
I have very strong accent, sorry.
No, nothing to be sorry about. It was kind of a cute accent, and you'd chop your words a little bit, and I think
Yeah.
that might have been because you were partially nervous as well.
Yeah, I was.
But it was kind of funny because the messages really mirrored the way you were talking.
Mm-hmm.
Because you didn't say a heck of a lot. It was like 500 words for me to 25 for you kind of thing.
Yeah. So since the day we met in person,
Mm-hmm.
how long before we had the first kiss?
Let's see here. So it would have been almost 4 months.
4 months. Yeah.
Yeah.
4 months.
Almost 4 months. I had, after 2.5 months of dating,
Mm-hmm.
I got my first hug from you.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was after we went to Dairy Queen on Stony Plain Road.
Mm-hmm.
And we were driving in my company truck at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, we can park and we'll have our ice cream, but I want a hug out of it. And
Mm-hmm.
you kind of giggled and everything, and that was our first hug, and it was like, wow, I like this.
Yeah.
This is good.
So how did you know that I am the one?
You know, that's always the
Trick.
that's always the tough question,
Tough.
because for guys, at least for me anyway,
Yeah.
it's not so much that ding, all of a sudden you know it's the right one.
Mm-hmm.
It's you get to the point where you find that you always want to be with that person.
Okay.
And
Did you have that
And it
feeling?
seems to be gradual where, okay, yeah, I could go out with the guy friends and do guy things and go see movies and all that kind of stuff. And it was like, nah, I'd rather go see you.
And you have that feeling.
Very, very quickly.
Oh.
You know, and I felt comfortable with you. It felt from because I'm a brains guy, not just a looks type of guy. And you looked really pretty. I loved your smile. You know, I loved all of that. You know, but there has to be more than just the physical side.
Oh.
Well, there has to be. And if you remember, the day after we met, we went for 3.5 hours of walking around downtown Edmonton, talking
I was
nonstop.
so impressed with your knowledge at that time, because it's like, oh wow, this guy is very talented and your retention on everything, even 30 years ago, you knew you still there. It's called stock knowledge.
Yeah, but you know that about me now, and it
Yeah,
hasn't
and now
changed.
it never changed. So it's like very impressive, and I'm falling in love since then.
You didn't say that though.
Yes, I was falling in love while we were walking. I was in awe with all the knowledge and your spontaneity. You're very spontaneous, and it's amazing.
I think
I
the
never
word is
had-
spontaneity. I think the word is spontaneity.
Spontaneity. Yeah.
But I mean, we in that span before the first hug, the first kiss, all that, any day off that I had,
It's with me.
except for one with my 3 older kids, and the last day before I had to get ready to go back out on the road, every day was with you.
Yes.
And that started very, very quickly after our second date.
Yeah.
And the neat thing is then I also had your phone number. I gave you my phone number. And we were averaging 5,000 to 6,000 texts
Yes.
a month.
Yes.
That's a lot of texting. And it just seemed to be natural where I used to use the term, and I still use it occasionally, where I honestly felt like I knew you for a very long time.
I have the same feeling.
Yet
I
we
feel like
yet
yet
it
we're
seemed
very
new.
New, yeah. But
But
the
it was
feeling is like, oh, why is like this? I feel like I've known you for a long time.
And that was the way
We
I
both
felt.
have that. We both have that feeling.
And the other thing that was really unique with you, and it really pumped everything up for me, was the fact that there was no pretension. There was no
I always ask if you are
weird
real.
deviation. Like you weren't trying to be somebody you weren't. 'Cause
I don't
I
want
told
to be
you
somebody
I
I'm
want
not.
you just to be you. I want to get to know
And
you.
I love that. I love that phrase. When
And I think we were really straightforward on
Yes.
we had both been through, I'll call it, issues or challenges before.
yeah,
obviously,
but
I
it's
had been
not that
through-
much.
Well, my experience is obviously different than yours because
Yeah.
I was married at one time. I had 3 kids. I had rebuilt my life,
Yeah.
and I had got to the point where I just want to be happy. Now, can I be happy by myself? Yeah, but is it as nice as having somebody to share your life with? And that's where seemingly knowing you for, like, it seemed like I knew you forever,
Yeah.
but everything was still new. So there was that excitement of seeing you. There was the excitement of holding your hand, which you didn't really like very much at the start.
Yeah,
'Cause
of
you
course.
seemed-
I
it
didn't
seemed
like,
odd to you.
It's because we did not have any relationship yet, and I did not want to be kind of
Yeah.
very close right away without getting to know you first. What if it doesn't work?
If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You know, but
So in my head, it's always
I
like
love
that.
the possibilities and the fact that I felt alive when I was with you.
Yes,
I
because you
wasn't-
were dead before.
Well, I kind of felt dead. Well, there's variations of feeling dead. When you're bereft of excitement, where everything just kind of seems like you're just going through the motions, you're not really alive.
Yeah, that's
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And where it really changed for me, and I felt, okay, this is going right where I want it to be, was the fact that we were so comfortable with each other and we could talk about anything and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no judgment, no drama, no BS to go along with it.
Yeah.
And I felt more comfortable with you than I had with any woman I'd ever been with, ever.
Nice.
Which was, that's kind of a shock to the system, you know, especially when you were, in my case, previously married, where you thought, like, you do the vows and that you're going to be together forever, and it doesn't work out. Then you second guess everything.
Yeah.
And you made it where I didn't have to second guess anything.
That's true. So the next question is, did you meet her parents or his parents?
I met your mom.
Yeah. But
the first time I met your mom was actually over at Doris and Dindo's place when they were in their apartment on 156th Street.
Yes.
She didn't say a word to me the entire time other than hello when you introduced me.
Yeah.
The first time I met her, she was doing babysitting of Hannah and Harvey.
Yeah.
The third time was her birthday.
Oh, yes.
You know, and it was...
Mara is shy.
She was very quiet.
Much.
I don't know whether she approved or disapproved or I didn't know how to read her face. Your siblings seemed to be fine with this older guy there. They seemed to think that you were very happy, and they seen that I kind of hovered around you in not a stalking weird kind of way. It was more like, if you needed something, I was there to be able to assist. The one thing that Darna complimented me on afterwards is, you're very polite. Yeah.
Yes, you're very polite.
That's the way I was raised, right? So.
Yeah. And in me, I met your dad, but we were married at the time, so I did not met your dad.
You met my dad before we got married.
Yeah, we were married before I met your dad.
No, you met him before we were married, and then you met him at our wedding.
We are married when we went.
No, he was.
Went to
Okay,
Vancouver.
I mean the ceremony thing.
Yeah, the ceremony.
Yeah, you met him in. That would have been July.
Yeah, July.
And we went down to Grindrod, where he was living. And yeah, that was...
They were okay. My first impression is that they are very polite as well, and very graceful, and very... they're very accommodating with Judy.
Well, the things you told me is that, wow, your dad and you are a lot alike.
Yes.
Because my dad and I, whenever we got together, it was lots of laughs, lots of smiling, lots of not taking life very seriously, right?
It's just nice. It was nice. Yeah.
Judy was quite enamored with you, because you were different than anybody she'd ever met before. To be truthful, she really, 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 really did not like my first wife.
Oh.
Really didn't like her.
Oh, really?
And she was quite tickled pink with you.
Oh.
Dad was
nice.
Dad was quite pleased with you as well, because I don't think he liked my ex either. To be perfectly honest, but it was Ron's wife. He has to deal with it. I don't. But yeah, the whole visit down there went off without a hitch. No problems at all.
So the
Vancouver side was more interesting. just because of Elsie's living conditions out there with her roommate and
Yeah.
the friends that came over and that.
Yeah, but that's okay with that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
The next question is there anyone against your relationship?
Nobody.
Yes. Both sides.
Well, no, nobody specifically said that we're against it, but they were passive aggressive about
Yes,
it.
yes.
My brother's wife was quite passive aggressive about the whole thing, talking about the mail order bride and all that
Yeah.
kind of BS that really infuriated me. Darren didn't have a particular issue with the relationship at all. He just wanted to make sure that I was happy. That was his biggest thing. Now, extended family, there were certain issues, I'm sure, on the
Right.
extended family where,
But no one is saying
but
anything,
nobody
so
would.
never
Well,
mind.
they
We'll
also
leave it like that.
they also knew not to say something.
Yeah.
But the extended family, you could kind of see it take their sideways glances where, okay, what's the story? How did Ron meet her? You know, that kind of
Yes,
thing. So
yes.
it was more they were unsure
Mm-hmm.
of, okay, well, how do we act? How do we do what we do and things like that, right? It was almost like they thought you spoke a completely different language and that was it. So they didn't even know what to say.
So next is, how long did you propose? How and where?
Well, it was at the Sicilian restaurant just off of Jasper Avenue
Mm-hmm.
on your birthday.
Yeah.
So it's November 5th
Yes.
of that year. And I was dressed in tie and dress shirt, and I told
We
you
both dress up.
I asked you to dress up
Yeah.
nice, and I told Nita that I wanted to have a special night out with you.
Yeah.
And we went to the Sicilian kitchen, and I had set it up a couple days beforehand. Went in and talked to the owner. A month before, we had went shopping for just
The
to kind of
ring?
go looking for rings and stuff. And
Yeah.
you spotted one that you liked, and I immediately, well, the following day, actually put a down deposit on it. And we went there. We had a nice supper. It was an Italian meal.
restaurant.
You
Yeah,
had,
Italian meal.
I had the veal.
I had the spaghetti macaroni.
No, spaghetti.
I think it's
It wasn't
white-
spaghetti and meatballs, but it was more like an Alfredo, if I remember.
Alfredo, yes.
Yeah.
It's an Alfredo.
So it was probably fettuccine with Alfredo, and I think you
Yes.
had some, like a veal or something with it. I can't remember which meat.
As long as, yes.
And I excused myself. We were almost finished supper, and I excused myself, and I went and set it up to be able to, because it was your birthday, it was the perfect opportunity to get you a nice birthday cake with the sparkles and all that stuff. And I made arrangements for the ring to be sitting on the cake.
Yeah.
And I was freaking nervous because, are they going to drop the ring? Are they going to do whatever? Because I wanted to make sure it wasn't out of my sight, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I had pretended to go to the washroom twice.
Yes.
The first time was to set it up, and
I
then
was like, oh, are you okay?
yeah, and that's exactly right. You were worried, like,
you
are you
okay?
okay? Are you okay? What's going on?
Yeah.
And then they came out with the cake with the sparkler going, and the waitress held it basically at eye level, like I'd asked her to, and you didn't even notice. You didn't even notice the ring. You seen the sparkler on it, and you were like, "Oh wow!" And everybody started doing the happy birthday at the start.
Yeah.
And they finished happy birthday, and you still hadn't noticed the ring.
I did not notice the ring.
And I said, "Well, there's something really important for you to see on that cake."
I did
You
not
what?
see.
And you went, what? And you still didn't see it. It wasn't until they removed the sparkler and
It was hidden.
it had dropped off the cake onto the plate.
Yeah.
and I had to get them to turn the plate, and then you went, "Oh, someone dropped the ring. You didn't even think it was yours." I said, no.
Oh yes,
And then
yes,
and then your hands came up to your face. I was like, "Oh wow!"
I was like, wow, I'm going to
And
get married.
I went down on my knee and I proposed to you. The whole restaurant went quiet while I was popping the question.
Yes.
And then you said yes, and the whole restaurant
Clap.
was clapping and cheering.
and cheers. It's like because it was November and it was dark, so
Yep.
the sparkle is really nice. The ambience is really nice. So yes, that is how Ron proposed.
Yeah.
So we got married in another 6 months later,
Mm-hmm.
and we have our baby a month later.
Savannah, yeah.
Our first child together, and got pregnant in the second baby 4 months later.
Yeah, we got busy fairly quick.
Yeah, very busy. And then October 23rd,
And I kept telling you I want some more practice.
our second baby was born, girl and boy. So the birth of Johan completed our family.
And they were born exactly 13 months to the day
13
apart.
months, yes. So
At the Misericordia Hospital in Edmonton.
yeah.
Both of
Johan,
them.
Savannah, come here. Come here.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
here we
youngest.
are.
Here's the youngest one. Ow! Oh, gosh!
Johan.
Johan. Oh, you got a good picture of the wall.
Here they are. Here we are, huh? Johan. Calm down. There.
There's the two rugrats.
Here we are, completed.
So Savannah is now 10,
Yeah.
and Johan is 9.
Mhm.
Don't call me.
And
Spoiled brat.
Ron has 3 kids. It's
Oh,
just we did
older
not,
ones, yeah.
we don't see them often, and we did not get their opinion, so we did not. So we didn't have any opinion from them. So
Maybe
they're
at a
in
future
good.
time. at a
Yeah,
future
their
date.
future date. Future date, we will have a third.
There's the story for you, nice and short and sweet.
Yes. Here's the story how we met. Bye for now. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye.
Nung pinhot mo among pasya, iba rin Manila. Mahapulan mo'n ano sa nanggalang ni kaligatan. Dinigam ang balemi, ang kita-kita'y antimi. Hindi madisdis maya ng kanumi ang lakne. Tinigong inanwan ng tama ang natulog ikot na. Igong inatulgan ina ang may tunas ya kortina. Tinigong inan iiba, inupot da, imutog da. Muadimi ibabai, inaedi ni taguami. What color? Age